You are about to embark upon the Great Crusade. The eyes of the world are upon you. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Postscriptum Talk About video. Just like we did with Chapter 2, I'm going to be talking about what Chapter 3 is bringing to the table. So, let's jump right into this with the new game mode that they're actually bringing. This game mode is called Invasion, and just like the name suggests, Invasion is one side's offensive, the other side is defensive. Unlike the usual take point, hold, try not to let it go, versus, and the other side tries to take it and takes it, and then y'all have to go back and take it, and gets into that, and whoever holds it for the longest, another point shows up, and then they go to that point while still defending their previous points that they have taken. Instead, this is more of the guys go, destroy this little piece. The defenders have to stop them from trying to destroy this little piece, and if they destroy it, they are able to get, like, I think reinforcements or something. But without a doubt, it is a pretty different mode, if you will. The invaders are obviously the allies, because this is a D-Day update. This is going to be Operation Overlord, both the beachhead invasion and the airborne invasion. So this is going to be pretty impressive. Also in the invasion mode, there are supports. These supports are armor, air support, and artillery supports. For one side they may be disabled, for the other side they may not. And sometimes they might have the same support amount. So yeah, it's going to be totally different. I'd like to see how this goes. I think it'll be a pretty good change. I can't wait to, try my hand at trying to stop somebody from destroying something. So that'll be impressive. So yeah, let's all see how that works out. So now then, with the game mode out of the way, let's talk about the maps. The maps on here are all historically accurate, like Periscope does. The first map is Utah Beach. Yes, Utah, not Omaha. So Utah Beach was one of the 5 areas that were mapped out by the Allies on the Normandy beachhead to be invaded. The unit that was given the objective to take this beachhead was the 4th Infantry Division, with their support being the 70th Armored Battalion. The defenders were the 91st German Infantry Battalion. Utah was definitely, just like all beachheads on Normandy, it was very bloody. I was surprised they did not put Omaha, but then again, this is a pretty good change. Most multiplayer, massive multiplayer, World War II shooters always go for Omaha, but it's good to see Utah. Another thing to note is that Periscope is thinking about probably adding a few more maps, and that they say the Utah present within Chapter 3 is not the final version. Later it will be expanded upon, so they might add new maps, or they might just straight up change the layout of the beachhead. So it actually looks pretty good. I think that it'll be an impressive map to try to fight on. Without a doubt, it has many open areas, so we'll probably have to think of a strategy for that. But then again, most people who play Postscriptum do have a strategy, so can't wait to see that one happening. So apart from Utah Beach, there's also the other map known as St. Marigles, which most people might recognize, mostly due to its church. The church is the famous little picture, or in a movie, I forgot the movie's name, it was, oh, I don't remember, but it had John Wayne in it, uh, where that U.S. paratrooper landed on, and his parachute got stuck on the top of the church. And he pretty much was stuck up there, and it wasn't until he cut himself down. So, yeah, that's a very famous, story or even picture, I think it is. But here's a picture of the church, and here's a picture of the church during, I think, the remembrance of D-Day, with a dummy of the U.S. paratrooper stuck on the top of the church. So St. Marigles is actually a pretty big-ish town, and it was the main target of the 82nd Airborne whenever they landed during the night. The town was defended by the 91st German Infantry Division, and their task was to defend the town, and not only were they defending it with machine guns and stuff, but obviously also anti-aircraft guns, specifically them 88s that we saw in the trailer. So the primary objective during this invasion mode for the 82nd will be to go in and destroy those anti-aircraft batteries. And do not think that that objective will be easy, because whenever you jump into the game and you do get the invasion mode on St. Marigles, it will require, if you play as the 82nd, to jump into flak-filled skies, as they say, and make your way to the ground, where there you have to locate and destroy all the marked anti-aircraft batteries. So, without a doubt, this invasion game mode will be perfect for this Normandy invasion Operation Overlord Chapter 3 update. Now, St. Marigles will not be the only airborne invasion map that we'll be getting. We're also going to be getting Carentan. Carentan was the main objective for the 101st Airborne, and in fact, if y'all remember in the beginning of the trailer, whenever there was that bunch of paratroopers waiting to run across the hill, and y'all could see the top of that little house, yeah, that is Carentan. You may also remember that scene from Band of Brothers, and how the whenever they went to charge it, pretty much a crazy shootout. So in the map is going to pretty much be the invasion mode, just like in all these maps, and the 101st Airborne is going to be attacking. Defending is going to be an elite paratrooper division, one of the first pioneering paratrooper divisions during the war, which is the 6th Fallschirmjäger Regiment. So, in other words, 2 paratrooper divisions going at it. So that'll be pretty impressive. And since they're Fallschirmjägers, what I really want to know though is, are the Fallschirmjäger, like normal average infantrymen, going to be carrying FG-42s? Or are they still going to be carrying Kar 98s? Because if it's FG-42s, I know that's unfair, but holy crap. FG-42s are amazing rifles. 8mm Mauser 20-round rock-in magazine, side loading. That's so beautiful. It's nice. It's sleek. Pinnacle of German gun industry, if you will. But a very sought after, very beautiful rifle. So hopefully those will be for all normal infantrymen, but who knows. Now, getting back to the game mode though on Invasion for the 101st Airborne, the 101st job is going to be going into the town and destroying generators, radar stations in and around the town, along with a few artillery batteries, if you will, around here and there that are going to be shelling nearby forces. So those might be on a timer whether you have to go and get them or not. Both teams have access to full-blown support, so artillery, air power, or air support, and armor. However, though, be careful with the armor, because if you look at some of these pictures of the town that they modeled in game, those are pretty tight streets, so it's going to be pretty hard and to play a tank in there. And whenever I was looking at the pictures and stuff for Carentan, I just saw a bunch of little gray dots, squares everywhere, and those were all houses. Now, I know that a lot's changed since the 40s. The town's gotten bigger, but I mean, holy hell, it was house everywhere. You know, it's a city, so it'll be nice to see how this works out in Postscriptum and in this game mode. So, hope you're ready for CQB fighting. Now, unlike in Chapter 2, we will not be getting a new faction or anything really. I mean, you could count Fallschirmjägers, but they're really only difference between them and the normal German is they have a different helmet and uniform along with a new rifle. U.S., we got the new U.S. Army, the 4th Infantry Division. Their only difference really is uniform, and they have a amphibious invasion vest. But what we will be getting is literally hundreds of tons of armor, and I guess it's fitting to start off with the Germans because of their new, I guess you could call, heavy tank. And obviously, if y'all could catch that by a mile away, I'm talking about the Königstiger, aka King Tiger, or Royal Tiger, or just plain Tiger 2. So, the Tiger 2 was drawn up about the same time Tiger 1 was finally designed and manufactured. It wasn't until about late 43, early 44, the first Tiger 2 was built and then thrown off the assembly line, and from early 44 all the way to the end of 1945, or really till the end of the Third Reich, the Tiger 2 was built. Now, the Tiger 2, in case you're all wondering, is about an 80-ton hunk of steel. And I say hunk of steel. The frontal armor of this tank is about 7 inches thick, though in game they're saying 150 millimeters. And 150 millimeters is about 5.9, 5.10 inches. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still impregnable. Not only that, as you can see, the front is sloped, so it can touch almost about 10 inches. If it's at the 7-inch mark. If it's at the 5-inch, I don't know, almost 8, maybe less. But I mean, still, that is some serious protection for a tank from the front. Not only does it have some impressive frontal protection and also side protection, that's about 4 inches right there, which is the thickness of the front of the Tiger 1. But the gun on this tank is bigger than the Tiger 1's gun. The Tiger 1 had a KWK-36 L56 or L51, which is a pretty nice, normal, long-range 88mm gun. This one has a KWK-43 L71. That is an extremely long 88mm. That is a dedicated anti-tank gun. Now, this tank may seem totally different in terms of design and everything. You know, I've been having this side-by-side of a Tiger 1 and a Tiger 2. It's totally different. It's gone from a big box to a big, huge hunk of sloped steel, like an oversized, overweight panther, if you will. Just given a Tiger name. But the difference that the same thing that these two share is the engine. Yes. Now, while a Maybach V12 700 horsepower engine is good enough for 60 tons, sort of good enough, it is not good enough for 80 tons. So this tank is going to be extremely slow, and obviously you can tell this thing is huge. So if you do get in a town, just beware. Anybody who has gammon grenades, magnetic mines are going to have a field day with you. So don't move into a town without pretty much 360 degree infantry cover. So yeah, It's going to be fun seeing the Tiger II lumber down the street, probably getting tons of mines on it and stuff, so yeah. Now, do not think that the Americans are being left in the dark whenever it comes to armor, because they are actually getting 3 new armored vehicles. The first one, I'm just going to get out of the way, is the M8 Greyhound, that little bitty 6-wheeled armored reconnaissance vehicle that everyone knows. Not good enough to fight a King Tiger, I know, but it's good enough to flank and ambush infantry or lighter armored cars. Now, what the U.S. does have, though, to attempt to destroy a Tiger II is the M10 Wolverine and the M18 Hellcat. The Wolverine, its actual designation is the M18 gun motor carriage, or 3-inch gun motor carriage, because it technically does not have a 76, it has a 3-inch gun. This tank was actually designed to have that gun, or, well, they wanted to have that gun on a tank, and this was the only way they could get it. The second one is the M18 Hellcat. Like I said, this is a very fast, very quick tank, in all ways better than the M10. You get these two mixed up a little bit because, well, that just might be my problem, but it's faster, it's smaller. The gun's actually a lot better. It has an M1A176 or the M1A1C76, but we all know this tank for, you know, the videos of just people just shooting it, and it's known to destroy tigers. That's what we know it for. Both of these tanks have their pros and their cons. We know, I just pretty much discussed their pros. Big gun, you know, that's pretty much it. One's fast, though. The other one's a little bit slow. And that's actually the M10's con. It's big and it's slow. It's mostly slow because the turret is hand cranked. Then again, they both are, but the M10 has it's just different. It's based off a Sherman chassis, if you couldn't tell by the road wheels and all the setups and everything. And the M18 is pretty much a different tank. It's smaller and faster, but this is the con of it, and that is it has no armor. You trade armor for speed and protection, but still, that should not stop you from getting on the flank of a Tiger, especially the Tiger IIs. So, you know, that's what the U.S. is bringing in terms of armor, you know, an armored reconnaissance vehicle and 2 TDs, so that'll be nice to see. So, I know I'm touching the 19 plus minute mark, but yeah, that's all that Chapter 3 is bringing to the table. Honestly, I thought D-Day was too mainstream in our World War II video games, but it wasn't until I realized that most of those video games sort of half-ass them, like Hell Let Loose sort of half-asses it here and there, but Postscriptum's, you know, a totally different beast. It's more historically accurate. Periscope always goes for that. I mean, there's only a handful of problems that I have with Postscriptum, and it's only like my personal problems. It's like no other problems whatsoever. It's only like 1 or 2, and that's about it, but I mean, hell. So yeah, this update is coming April 23rd, is when we're going to get all these new tanks, everything, the new maps, the new mode. So yeah, it's going to be an amazing update. I can't wait for it. So yeah, if y'all guys did like the video, go ahead. If you didn't like it, go ahead, dislike, subscribe, comment if you want. So yeah, I'll see you all later.